Stories. The Snake. When I was younger, me and my friends used to go camping for a weekend in the wilderness, in a forest, a field, away from the city and people. One weekend we ended up in a place close to Cuenca, if I remember correctly. It was a lovely place, in a forest with a river, and pouring into the river was a waterfall. The waterfall dropped into a pool of water which led to the river, which must have been 5 meters wide with a depth of roughly 6 feet. We used to dive into the pool from the top of the waterfall, and we'd swim around in the pool or even down the river a bit as the current wasn't overly strong. So I dived in and was swimming around the pool when I saw something coming towards me. I couldn't quite make it out, but after it got a tad closer, I realized that actually it was a snake. I couldn't tell how big it was though. I swam to the side a bit to get out of its way, and it swam past me. After it had just gotten past me a tiny bit, I grabbed it, only playing, close to its head, and I realized it was quite long. It must have been 1.5 meters. As soon as I grabbed it, it started to coil around my arm quite tightly. It tried to bite me too. Despite being quite sure it wasn't poisonous, I still didn't want it to bite me. You know, bites still tend to hurt, even if they aren't venomous. I grabbed it close to its head so it couldn't, but it was wrapping itself around my arm, and I got a bit fed up of that, so I wrestled it off and tossed it downstream. It was only then that I realized these types of snakes have a bit of a special defense mechanism. They expel a fluid, and that fluid went all over my arm. I can't tell you how bad it smelled. It was awful. I tried to wash it off in the river, rubbing it with my other hand, but that just made my other hand stink horrifically too. It was a nightmare, and I actually ended up having to use bleach on my arm. I suppose it serves me right for attacking the snake.